Bitcoin trading VEPS video. And I just want to say, le marché, the market, is set to do some very interesting things in this new week. As we see the new weekly projections have come out on the VEPS in the uh, VRE levels, plus levels, normal distribution levels, projection models of normal and Laplace distributions, the RMLRs, the entropy, the variance, returns. Returns are good, and so on and so forth. And well, if you know about trading the VEPs, then you know that the asset is currently moving along in some very interesting ways on the weekly time frame. And you might look at it and say, well, if you look at the weekly and also the monthly that started yesterday and the daily, it looks like just another big mixed bag. And I don't know which way to go. Well, maybe you don't know which way to go because you don't know how to read the VEPs. But if you do know how to read the VEPs, you can see, for example, very clearly on today's new weekly central range or central weekly range that the asset dropped quite a nice bit from last week and is now basically the center of that weekly range is now where the center of the daily range happens to be as well today. The central daily range happens to have a fairly tight range again. It's under 1%, it's at around 0.9%, so not super tight. And of course, today is still a holiday in the US, so markets are closed today. But that said, there is likely to be a live stream on the Alpha Trading Discord and streamed on Rumble starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Because crypto never sleeps, right? And so even though it's a holiday, and yeah, who knows, maybe there'll be less people around watching the crypto markets. This is literally one of those times when the old saying goes, as the cat's away, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And you see a lot of that happening today. If you look in the Discord, the Alpha Trading Discord, you can see very clearly a bunch of charts I posted showing the new weekly and daily projections. And you can see very clearly on the VRE charts of like the 15-minute and even the 1 minute, where I posted a bunch, that various targets to the downside are certainly there. Like you got the bottom of the monthly target, which was already tapped. And you can certainly see it possibly go down to the lower targets like the second daily buy level or support level, if you want to call that. To the upside, we've already seen the top of the monthly range today also get tapped to the entire monthly range. Was tested yesterday and again today, which is actually great because the more it gets tested and the more we get set up for trending days, the more it's likely to distribute away as the mean averages out around there, and then the mean of returns, that is, and then the asset wants to distribute away from the mean. So, that could be building up some nice significant moves. And then, of course, there'll be mean reversions at some point afterwards. But certainly, it's getting set up now because it's already mean reverted to a bunch of different time frames and is basically percolating right now. Right? And you've seen already moves on the 15-minute candles very nicely, or any time lower than that, where it's gone very nicely and tested the whole monthly range. Like I said, the whole central monthly range has been tested today, downside and then upside. And that, of course, tested the central daily range, which is within that central monthly range, and the middle of it, like I said, is literally at the middle, or just slightly below the middle of the central monthly range. The weekly range, last I looked at the candle, has not been tested yet, but the asset came quite close to tapping that bottom of the weekly. Sorry, it did. Yeah, no, it didn't quite tap it. It tapped the top of the central monthly range, which is just south by not very much of the central weekly range. That central weekly range, again, is above the asset when I looked at it like 20 minutes ago. And so it certainly could, as it is a trending day, certainly could have some nice trending moves. We've already seen a couple modest ones today on the day so far, but it certainly could test the central weekly range, if not today, then tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen today, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see today kind of, maybe even go down a bit, especially because the AVRs are very mixed and looking a little to the downside. The weekly are also looking a bit to the downside. There are some positive things looking on the volatility or the variance on the weekly and the daily, but so far, overall, not looking too hot to the upside. It's more looking like a bit of a mixed bag, but that's okay. It is, after all, only the first week of September. I do expect things will get much more interesting in terms of increased volatility, variance, and increased entropy, significant trending moves on the higher time frames. But again, on the lower time frames, plenty of volatility, plenty of variance, plenty of entropy, bunch of trending moves. They're definitely scalpable. You just got to be able to read and act fast enough to take your profits early and often, as they say, so that you can reap the rewards of being in the market for good trades, and use the VEPs to your advantage, exploit the randomness of the market and the inefficiencies of the market and the trending moves of the market and the occurrences of opportunity that happen in the market, because that's basically what trading is all about. It's not easy, right? Nobody ever says it's easy, or they shouldn't. But the tools that we distribute, the tools that we publish at Alpha Trading, and the methods that we use give you a much higher probability of being on the winning side of the trades that you take or that you make. And there's a key difference there. You don't want to take trades, you want to make trades, meaning you want to be a market maker, not a market taker. And the reason for that is, at least on most exchanges, you'll pay a much higher fee for being a market taker than for being a market maker. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to that. For example, if you use places like MEXC, if you're able to do that, they, I think, still have something like 0 fees on certain trades for certain assets. So you can trade crypto there for like no fees if you're able to use MEXC, and if you are trading the assets that they offer with 0 fees. So anyway, you can look at that. I'm not going to give you any affiliate links or anything like that. I'm just saying I know that that's one exchange that does that. There are others, but most exchanges will charge you, a couple percent or whatever for taker fees, because those give you instant fills at the market rates. Whereas maker fees are usually much lower, or even sometimes 0, but usually around 0.1 or 0.2%, something like that. Because you're providing liquidity to the market when you're a maker. Right? When you're a market maker, you're literally providing liquidity. And that's why you don't get instant fills, because you're offering your liquidity to the market at specific limit order entries and you're not getting the gratification, the instant gratification that a market taker gets, right? That's the disadvantage of being a market maker, is you have to have a bit of patience. It can be seconds, sometimes it can be longer, to get your orders filled. And of course, your position size will matter a lot in terms of how fast your order gets to the front of the line to get filled when you're running limit orders versus market orders. So, the disadvantage of using limit entries, of course, is that if your order doesn't get filled right away, you might miss the move if you're making it at the last second right before the move happens. On the other hand, if you have an idea of where you want to enter your trades, you can do that ahead of time and get your entries in the order or on the order books and in line before the move happens. And if your target price is met and then the move happens the way you think it will, then the asset trade will work to your advantage in terms of fees. Obviously, as long as it's a profitable trade, then the limit fees will not bite as much as if you take a taker trade, right? But in any case, you pay the fees whether you win or lose, which is why I typically don't run market orders at all. The only exception to that is if suddenly a trade goes against me, and I think it's going to go very much against me, and I don't have enough, I don't have enough time, or I don't want to wait around for a potential big loss or bigger loss. So I'll run a market order just to get out of the trade, to close the position. But that's pretty rare when you're using the VEPs correctly, right? Usually you're just running limit orders on entry and exit and taking advantage of lower fees. Anyway, so the projections for this week, like I said, on Bitcoin specifically, there are some good projections. What is that? A flower? What is that? A piece of a flower. Interesting. How long has that been there? Anyway, the projections are looking good. It's not wow to the upside. It's not like burning to the upside right now, but that's good if you want low entry points into the upside. And to the downside, there are also some targets, some very nice ones actually. Don't be surprised if you look at the mean reversions and what's happening with the 3 hour, etc., 4 hour, daily, and all that. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin dumps out even quite a bit from where it is now, to like the lower half of the 50K range. It could be 54, 53, who knows, before it starts to move up at all. And we could see that dump even happen today and then get set up for a bigger move to the upside, possibly tomorrow, when traditional markets start coming back online, when traditional markets reopen at 9 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's basically what it's looking like on the daily again. There are some signs of movements to the upside. Like I said, still in a random walk, but approaching a trending move. If that entropy expands significantly today, we could see it become a trending move even today. It actually was indicating a bit of a trending move earlier on in the day, but then kind of fell back a bit because the entropy was wavering back and forth as it does, since it moves in real time. And so, yeah, obviously on lower time frames, you have different situations. You got lots of random walks still happening, and you got plenty of trending moves also happening. So I would not ignore this week if I was a trader. Let's put it that way. I know a lot of people are just coming back from vacation or whatever. But Labor Day, I know it's a holiday. But if you're sitting at your trading desk wondering what should I do, if you're like trading at home or something, at least be aware of what's happening with the assets you like to trade, even if you don't trade them today. Because there certainly have been occurrences of opportunity today. The movements have been down 3/4 of a point and then up more than 1.5 points, and then back down about 0.5 point, at least when I saw it lately, just on Bitcoin. Obviously, other assets move more or less depending on their liquidity and VAPS reading. But yeah, I think it's a really good time actually for low time frame scalpers to be making gains while it's relatively quiet still. Probably my favorite time to do it, because when things are rip roaring, I mean, I do love trending days the most, kind of because they're kind of easier. You can kind of sit in the trades longer, but that really depends on your context and how long you tend to sit in trades. I don't tend to sit in trades a long time, even on trending days. You know, I'll just take the next hill and profit out, or take the next dump and profit out. And even if I miss the next, bunch of moves, oh well, so be it. It's because I don't have usually time to sit around and stay in trades for a very long time. But ones I do make, I tend to make relatively quickly. But on trending days, you certainly can usually stay in trades longer when you have strong trending days. But ranging days are also very good for when it's zigzagging a bunch. But again, today is a trending day, most probably, and we've, like I said, seen some trending moves. So would not be surprised to see some more. And it may very well be that, it kind of just is a light trending day, right? And it can trend to the upside and the downside. And that's not a problem on a trending day. It doesn't just have to only trend in one direction. So, if you want to learn how to trade the VEPs, what you got to do is come to the Alpha Trading Discord. And once you're in there, you request your free volatility indicator pack, the volatility starter indicator pack. You do that by going to the request support channel and clicking on the create a ticket button. And once you do that, just let us know your TradingView username, and we'll hook you up with the indicators on TradingView. And again, the Alpha Trading Discord is at alphatradinghq.com/discord. Once again, that's alphatradinghq.com/discord. And once again, the live streams start at 9 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. We do intend to have one going on today, at least on Discord. So if you're in the Discord, we'll see you there. I think we'll stream it to Rumble. We'll see. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. And yeah, happy trading. Cheers.